John Ferry here from Team Wolpers. Very excited to be here with you for the Week 6 athlete briefing for our half marathon run challenge. So we're getting pretty deep into this thing. Things are getting serious, and I'm excited that you're still here crushing it so far. So hope everyone is having an amazing week 5. And speaking of week 5, let's start with a quick review here. So we started the week with 2 options. We had either that endurance run or we had our kind of VO2 max options. That endurance run was going to work on efficiency and, of course, our endurance energy zone, kind of getting that distance in that we need for a half marathon. Our kind of second option was that VO2 max run, focusing on power and leg speed really there. So both great workouts to start the week. Workout number 2 were those half marathon pace intervals. So working on extending our total amount of time at half marathon pace and starting to hopefully get really intentional about what that pace is that you want to plan to run your actual half marathon here in this week. Of course, finishing with our long run where we pop back up after a week 4 drop down and get back into the bulk, and this is the beginning of our next 3-week accumulation pattern right here. So of course, I'm gonna remind you to jump into that website. Make sure you're still checking those boxes, chasing that 100% completion percentage. We want you to be successful at the end of this challenge, and following and getting that highest completion percentage possible is gonna be the absolute way to do that. So make sure to stay accountable to yourself, get in there and check that box. Now, to our week 6 workouts here. So key run number 1, endurance run across the board. So no VO2 max option this week. And the reason is that we're going to extend that total amount of time and make for a longer effort here on that kind of key run number 1. So there are 3 variables that we look at when we're kind of planning workouts and planning progressions. It's not all that complicated. We're looking at volume, we're looking at frequency, we're looking at intensity in general. So those are the 3 things that we really get to manipulate. In key run number 1, we're advancing our volume, and in key run number 3, we're advancing our volume. So when we are manipulating these variables, such as volume, a lot of times we'll either want to reduce or at least pin some of the other elements. So that would count as our intensity markers. That would count as our frequency markers. So we want to make sure we're managing that while we are increasing on the other there. So definitely keep the paces nice and relaxed this week. Even though the pace guidelines are a little bit easier for that workout, especially if you've been doing some of the VO2 max workouts, we're starting to get much longer, especially in that midweek workout. So we're getting to the back end of this training block, and because this is very much an endurance race, those workouts can start to get much more specific, much more kind of in-depth in its overall volume there. So certainly when we advance past this week, we'll start to bring some intensity back, match that volume, but keep it nice and relaxed this week here. Key run number 2 is our half marathon pace key run. This is going to be a half marathon pace hill run, which I know there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement about. So it's time to hit the hills again. And just as a reminder, since it's been a couple weeks since our last hill session here, that what we're really trying to do is we're working on leg power, we're working on efficiency, and we're working on the proficiency of running hills during your half marathon and being able to hold a sustained pace there. So even though in your race, you probably will kind of ease off the pace a little bit, here in the workout, we want to hit them with full intensity and a lot of focus so that we can build that leg strength that we need to be proficient for the race itself. There's going to be a B goal for this session here, where naturally we focus a lot on the uphill part. You know, we get that posterior chain recruitment, that's the power, the strength, etc. But there's a real skill set to downhill running. Now, the downhill section absolutely needs to be a recovery here, but I want you to focus on the downhill of maintaining good form, having high turnover, having nice light footfalls, and allowing gravity to kind of help assist you down the hill. So if you always have ear pods in, this is a great opportunity, or headphones more so, it's a great opportunity to kind of take those out and be thoughtful about what your footfall sounds like when it's hitting the ground here on the downhill. You want to be nice and light on the downhill, focus about kind of just gently leaning forward, and like I mentioned, let gravity sort of assist you down the hill, if you will. And naturally, we're going to finish the week with our long run. It's the most important part of the workout week, certainly for half marathons, etc. Got to have that good quality long run. So As we continue to make our advancements into this long run progression, this is just a reminder that as runs start to really tip above 90 minutes is when I really start to focus with athletes on the intra-workout nutrition and fueling. So if these long runs are starting to take you up over 90 minutes, then you might need to consider some sort of carb-rich fuel that you're taking in the middle of your workout. Maybe just a little bit, but to help you maintain smooth, even energy both during the workout and then similarly after the workout. So I think maybe not discussed enough is that intra-workout fueling can leave you less depleted after the workout, where you want to be kind of starting to refuel anyway and rebuild. But starting that process during the workout itself is going to hopefully lead to a smoother energy when you finish the workout and are going on with the rest of your day. So once again, especially if you're starting to tip over 90 minutes in these long runs, you should be considering intra-workout fuel of some sort as part of your workout. And additionally, even though it's quite cold still throughout most of the country, it's still very advisable to take in fluids over the course of these runs. So although you might not kind of have the same sensation you have in the middle of summer where it's hot, humid, etc., you're absolutely still sweating. You want to be taking in fluids when available. My rule with kind of drinking during working out is just drink to thirst. I don't like prescribed intake, etc. So if you're thirsty, drink. Make sure you're getting those fluids in. Otherwise, come in well hydrated. Make sure you're hydrated again after your workout naturally. Well, otherwise, friends, it's going to be all actually for week 6 here. So I assume everyone fully understands the assignment. I'm very excited for you to jump forward one more week. As I mentioned, we're getting towards the back end of this thing. So things are getting pretty serious here. An amazing job thus far. I can't wait to see you next week. Have a great one.